Hello everyone, I hope you all are fine and safe. So today is June 5, 2020 and the day is Friday. And in this video, we will continue exercise 3.5. In the earlier video, we done up to question number 6. So let's continue with question number 7. So question number 7 is the product of three consecutive numbers is always divisible by 6. So here the statement is the product of three consecutive number. If the product is given to you, it means there is an operation of multiply. And if it is always divisible by 6, explain the statement with the help of some examples. So statement is given to you, you have to justify the statement with the help of some example. So here let's take some consecutive numbers. You can take any consecutive number. Let consecutive numbers is equals to, you have to take any consecutive number. Let's say I take 2, 3, 4. So these are the three consecutive number. Then the question is their product. Then my next step is their product. Product means you have to multiply all the numbers. Just multiply all the consecutive numbers. Then we have 2 3s are 6, 6 4s are 24. So this 24 is divisible by 6. It is already mentioned in the statement. And if I divide 24 by 6, 6 4s are 24, we can simply say that 24 is divisible by 6. So here I just explained the statement with one example. You can take another example also. Let consecutive number, take any number. Suppose I take 7, 8, 9. The number should be consecutive. This is necessary. Then next, find product. Then their product means you have to multiply 7 multiplied by 8 multiplied by 9. When you multiply all the numbers, you will get 504. So let's check whether 504 is divisible by 6 or not. So 504 divided by 6. So 6 8s are 48. Then I will get 2 here 4. So 6 4s are 24. So it is clear that 504 is divisible by 6. So I just explain the statement with the help of example. Here the statement is given to you. If you multiply the three consecutive number, then the product of these three consecutive number is always divisible by 6. Now let's start next question, that is question number 8. The sum of two consecutive odd numbers. Sum means you have to add two consecutive odd number. Let's take any two consecutive odd number. Let two consecutive odd number. So let's take 5. 5 is an odd number and the next consecutive odd number is 7. The sum of two consecutive odd number is always divisible by 4. It means if you add both the consecutive odd number, it is always divisible by 4. So let's check. So their sum is 5 plus 7, which is equals to 12, and we know that 12 is divisible by 4. So this is a true statement, but we have to verify the statement with the help of some example. This is first example. Let's take any other example. Let two consecutive odd number. You can take any number, but the number should be consecutive odd number. If I take number 13, the next odd number, consecutive odd number is 15. So add 13 plus 15. So you will get 28. And we know that 28 is divisible by 4. You can also check while dividing. 4 7s are 28. So it is clear. If you add two consecutive odd numbers, then the sum of two consecutive odd numbers is always divisible by 4. You can take any another example and check whether the statement is true or not, and you will verify the statement which is given to you with any example. So next we have question number 9. In which of the following expression prime factorization has been done? Here 4 parts are given. Here we have 24 is equals to 2, which is a prime number. 3 is a prime number, but here 4 is not a prime number. So this is not a prime factorization. Means prime factorization means you have to write the product of factors, prime factors only. Then you have 56. 7 is a prime number. 2 is a prime number. 2 is a prime number, prime. So this expression is an example of prime factorization. Then we have 70. 2 is a prime number, 5 is a prime number, 7 is a prime number. So this is also expressed as prime factorization form. Then we have 54. 2 is a prime number, 3 is a prime number, but here 9 is a composite number. So we can say that in B and C part, prime factorization has been done, because in part A, 4 is a composite number, and here in part D is a composite number. So prime factorization is done in B and C part. Then next we have question number 10. Question number 10 is determine if 25110 is divisible by 45. So we have to check. For this, we can express 45 as 5 multiplied by 9. 5 9s are 45, and we know the divisibility rule of 5 as well as for 9. And here we know that both are prime, where 5 and 9 are co-prime. And we know that if both the numbers are co-prime number and 45 is divisible by 5, then 45 is divisible by 9, and if both the numbers are co-prime number, then it is divisible by the whole 45. So for this, let's check the divisibility rule by 5. 25110. To check the divisibility rule by 5, you have to check the digit at one's place should be 0 or 5. If the digit at one's place is 0 or 5, then the number is divisible by 5. Here the digit at one's place is 0, so we can say that this is divisible by 5 because it has 0 in its ones place. If there is a 0 in ones place or units place, we can say that the number is divisible by 5. So check the divisibility rule for 9. For 9, just add all the digits. Sum of digits is equals to 2 plus 5 plus 1 plus 1 plus 0. Then we have 2 plus 5 7, 7 plus 1 8, 8 plus 1 9, 9 plus 0 9. So after adding all the digits, I will get 9, and here 9 is divisible by 9. Divisible by 9. So we can say that 25110 is divisible by 9. So we simply say that 25110 is divisible by both 5 and 9, and here 5 and 9 are co-prime, and we done the rule in the yesterday video that if the number is divisible by both the numbers and the numbers are co-prime, so we can say that this number is also divisible by its product, that is 5 multiplied by 9. Simply we can say that 45. But here the condition is both the numbers should be co-prime. So we can say that 25110 is divisible by 5 multiplied by 9, that is 45. So if you have to check whether the number is divisible by 45 or not, just check the divisibility by 5. Then by 9, we know that both are co-prime. If it is divisible by 5 and divisible by 9, so it is divisible by the product of both the numbers, that is 5 multiplied by 9. So we can say that is 25110 is divisible by 45. Now next we have question number 11. Now the question number 11 is 18 is divisible by both 2 and 3. So it is divisible by its product, that is 6, as we done in question number 10, as 18 is divisible by 2 and 3, and here 2 and 3 both are co-prime. Here 2 and 3 both are co-prime numbers. If both are co-prime numbers, then both are divisible by the product. Similarly, a number is divisible by both 4 and 6. Can we say that the number must also be divisible by the product? Now the question is, the number is divisible by both. Here 4 and 6 are not co-prime. 4 and 6 are not co-prime. How we find that both the numbers are co-prime or not? Here we have the factors of 4. Factors of 4. 1 into 4 is equals to 4. 2 into 2 is equals to 4. Here the factors of 4 are 1, 2 and 4. Then we have factors of 6. 1 into 6 is equals to 6. 2 into 3 is equals to 6. So here the factors of 6 are 1, 2, 3 and 6. So here we have two common factors, that is 1 and 2. So 4 and 6 are not co-prime numbers. So it is not necessary that the number is divisible by both. So we can say that it is not necessary. It is not necessary that the number is divisible by both 4 and 6. Now next is, if not, give one example to justify your example. To justify your answer, you have to give an example. So let's take an example. Here we have 36. Now 36 is divisible by 4. 36 is divisible by 6, but 36 is not divisible by their product. 6 into 4, that is 24. So this is the example. You can take another example, that is 60. Here 60 is divisible by 4. 60 is divisible by 6, but it is not divisible by its product. If the number is divisible by another two numbers, so it is divisible by their product only if both the numbers are co-prime. In first case 2 and 3 are co-prime, but in second case 4 and 6 are not co-prime, and here the common factors of 4 and 6 are 1 and 2. So it is not necessary that the number is divisible by both. So here we also take an example, 36 and 60. You can take another example also. Now next we have question number 12. So here question number 12 is just kind of a puzzle. Here we have, I am the smallest number having 4 different prime factors. I am the smallest number having 4 different prime factors. If the number is the smallest number, then obviously the prime numbers are the smallest 4 prime numbers. So we will write, since the smallest 4 prime numbers, smallest 4 prime numbers are 2. After 2 prime is 3, after 3 prime is 7, and after 7 we have 5, then 7. That is 2, 3, 5 and 7. So the smallest 4 prime numbers are 2, 3, 5 and 7. So next you have to find the smallest number. So the smallest number is here we have 4 different smallest prime number. Then we have to find the smallest number with the help of these prime numbers. So just multiply all the prime factors. You will get the smallest number. So we have 2 3s are 6, 6 5s are 30, 37s are 270. Because if you do the prime factorization of this number, then what will I get? Then 2 1s is 1, j is 0 5. Then we have 3 3s are 9, 3 5s are 35, 5 7s are this. So here I will get the same smallest prime number. So 210 is the smallest number. So with the help of smallest 4 prime numbers, I found the smallest number, that is 210. So this is all with exercise 3.5.